The year is 1666, and this is the city of London. It is only 1 year after a great plague has swept the city. It is shortly after midnight, on the 2nd of September. This is the bakery of Thomas Fariner, located in Pudding Lane in the centre of the city. It is a street like hundreds of others, wooden buildings huddled closely together. Thomas and his family bake bread and pies. Their bakery is modest, but successful. The family have retired to bed. In the still bakery, a spark from the smouldering oven ignites a pile of kindling, and slowly a fire takes hold. The family are woken by the noise and make their escape, except their maidservant, who is too scared by the fire to jump from the window. She becomes the first victim of the fire.
Greetings, good people. My name is Mary, and I'm a fishwife. I sell fish brought up the River Thames from the coast. Last year was a terrible time for us Londoners. An awful plague swept the city. I was lucky. By God's goodwill I survived, but most of my friends and family did not. Most houses are still boarded up and deserted, but thanks be to God, life for the most part has returned to normal. Last night, a fire broke out in a bakery on Pudding Lane. And through the night, 7 more houses caught fire too.
By morning light, the whole of Pudding Lane is burning. The Lord Mayor of London, Sir Thomas Bloodworth, arrives. The parish constables beg him to order the demolition of houses next to the fire to cause a firebreak. But he refuses, on the grounds that most premises are rented and the owners cannot be found. In fact, he ends up going home to bed, and the order to demolish houses isn't given until the evening, and by that time, the fire is out of control.
It is awful now. People are panicking and trying to flee the city. Members of the parish are using buckets to try and douse the flames, but their efforts are pitiful against this terrible fire. Many are blocking the streets with carts filled with their belongings. The fire is so bad now it's creating its own weather. The fire is roaring up the narrow streets like flames up a chimney.
The fire pushes north on Monday into the heart of the city. Order in the streets breaks down as rumours tell of suspicious foreigners setting fires. The fire reaches the River Thames and begins to burn the houses on the crowded London Bridge. The bridge is crammed with buildings all along its length, all tinder dry, but luckily a large gap on the bridge stops the fire from crossing to the other side.
Tuesday, 4th of September. I have had little rest as my throat is so sore from all the smoke. I have travelled north to my cousin's house and my feet hurt, but we are not safe here either, so we are preparing to leave. Many of London's buildings are made from wood and thatch, so the fire is consuming the city. Many refugees are blocking the streets, trying to run away from the flames. Oh no, look! The fire has reached St Paul's Cathedral!
St Paul's Cathedral was thought to be safe, as it had a large space around it and was made of stone. Valuable books and documents were moved there from the printers and booksellers in adjoining Paternoster Row, but the cathedral was being renovated and was covered in wooden scaffolding. Ashes and embers carried on the breeze set light to the scaffolding, and the fire used it to scale and destroy the ancient building and virtually everything in it. By now, coordinated firefighting efforts were getting underway. The Tower of London garrison used gunpowder to create effective fire breaks, halting further spread eastward.
It is Wednesday, 5th of September, and thanks be to heaven, strong east wind has dropped and most of the fires have gone out. The death toll is unknown. Only 6 deaths are recorded. But like the plague, many of the victims were poor, so they were not recorded, and the heat of the fire may have cremated many victims, leaving no remains. I've decided to leave London. I've survived a plague and a great fire. I'm moving to the country, where I hope I will have a quieter life.
The Great Fire of 1666 was over, but small fires raged on for days afterwards. City parks became camps for all the homeless refugees. Only 8 people were thought to have died in the fire, but now we think that this figure is wildly inaccurate. As the fire was so fierce, many bodies would have been reduced to ash and unrecorded. The old St. Paul's Cathedral was completely destroyed, and a new cathedral built on its foundations, the cathedral we know today. The fire was a huge disaster and created many social and economic problems for years after. However, London rose from the ashes, with many of the old wooden buildings replaced by much safer and fireproof brick and stone.